Good morning, CS4All community. I want to take a moment and thank Secretary Ortega for giving us opening remarks. And I also want to take a moment to thank our CS and PA team for designing the 4th annual Pennsylvania CS4All Summit. And this is the second summit that we have done totally virtual. So let's give thanks to Sarah, Avni, Ethan, Jeremy, and Kat for their efforts. I also want to take a moment and thank the PA Counselors Association and NC WIT for being critical partners in expanding computer science across the Commonwealth and in our communities as they collaborate with our PA counselors. I also want to take a moment to thank each of the educators for continuing in the midst of a global pandemic to stay committed to providing computer science experiences for students across the Commonwealth. So today I just want to take a little bit of time to celebrate the amazing work that's happened over the last year, share a little bit of the things that we know, some things that we've learned, celebrate some programs, and also take some time to celebrate educators. So we know that educators and students have had to learn in the midst of brand new environments. Some educators were teaching for the first time in a total virtual environment, and learners had their first virtual learning experiences. Some communities were in a hybrid environment, and some communities had the opportunity to have in-person instruction for the better part of the pandemic. In the midst of all of this and the different conditions that have taken place, educators and students have continued to stay committed to and excited about computer science. So the priorities at the department over the last 5 years have been to diversify and increase the number of educators prepared to engage and deliver high quality computer science experiences, and to diversify and increase the number of learners that have access to and are included in computer science experiences across the state. Through 2023, we hope to continue to engage educators and provide professional learning to at least 10,000 more educators across the Commonwealth. Through 2023, we hope to increase the engagement and the inclusion of students in computer science courses by 20% each year. Over the next 2 years, we hope to engage an additional 75 schools in building computer science courses and pathways for their students. By 2023, our goal is to have 500 certified Pennsylvania educators in computer science 7 through 12. We want to double the number of LEAs that have a comprehensive plan in computer science through our script model from 158 to over 300 by 2023. And we also want to continue to establish our intermediate units as hubs for computer science professional learning and support across the Commonwealth. So what does that computer science workforce look like, and that STEM workforce? We've talked a lot over the last 5 years about the importance of providing opportunities for our learners to access the STEM economy. And even in the midst of a global pandemic, as we look on the other side of it, we still see that STEM jobs and computer science jobs are growing. In general, computer science and mathematical occupations are going to grow 8.6% through 2028. We have data scientist jobs that are increasing at 31% through 2028, information and security analysts by 27%, computer information and research scientists by 9%, and data processing and hosting specialists by 10%. All of these jobs provide our learners an opportunity to earn a family-sustaining wage. Some of the average salaries for these occupations range from between $80,000 and $122,000 a year. We still, to this day, have 12,000 unfilled computer science jobs with an average salary of $89,000 a year across the Commonwealth. And we have emerging fields in computer science around cloud specialists, mapping and modeling, and surveying. And if there's one thing that the pandemic has taught us, it's really taught us the importance of transferable skills and the role that STEM and computer science are going to play, not only in our economy, but also in the future of our planet. So if we think about the pandemic alone, if it wasn't for computational immunology, we wouldn't have been able to accelerate towards a vaccine in less than a year. A quote from one of the scientists that helped develop the vaccine was, mathematical models, statistical approaches, and machine learning are the only way you can make meaning out of so much data that comes from biology, genetics, and bioinformatics, and the other tools that they use to develop the vaccine. We need to continue building student experiences in computer science so that they can transfer these skills across their funds of knowledge and into spaces they are hoping to generate future solutions, whether that's in medicine, whether that's in advanced manufacturing, or whether that's to tackle some of the challenges identified by our UN sustainability goals. So what have we been doing to build capacity across the Commonwealth? Our CS&PA team, which is housed at the Pennsylvania Training and Technical Assistance Network office in Harrisburg, has been doing some amazing work. Of course, you've met them in the run-up to our CS4All summits, or maybe you've engaged with them on our Schoology courses through our CS&PA K-8 or 7-12 professional learning model, or maybe you've had contact with our team through the PA Smart targeted grant strategy. They've been doing a lot of work over the last couple of years, but in the last year alone, we've been able to launch a teacher's computer science toolkit, a computer science and equity toolkit, a universally designed K-6 curriculum framework, an administrator's toolkit, and a family toolkit. And you can find all of those resources at our Patent CS&PA website. Not only have we been building capacity across our patent systems, we've also continued the commitment to building capacity across our 29 intermediate units. So the 29 intermediate units each have a STEM point of contact that is responsible for being not only a champion of STEM, but being a champion of computer science. Each of those STEM points of contact over the last year and into the next year will have at least 15 days of free professional learning and technical assistance that they can deliver to LEAs and school communities across their catchment. They have expertise in the Carnegie Mellon CS Academy model, where over 70% of our IUs have a POC trained and able to deliver professional learning and technical assistance. Each of our STEM points of contact has been trained in our CS&PA K-8 model, which is the same strategy we've delivered to over 400 targeted grant partners across the Commonwealth. They're also trained and able to deliver the 7-12 model and support educators as they go through the We Teach program. We also have 48 script facilitators. 100% of our IUs have an expert ready and able to support comprehensive planning in school districts across computer science. And in the last year, with the support of our intermediate units, we've been able to launch 2 new Computer Science Teachers Association chapters across the state to help build those networks and those communities for computer science educators. We've also made a commitment over the last several years, with it manifesting itself this year in the Build Flight Co program and the building of computer science resources, to work with our inclusive practices team and our patent system and our tech to really ensure that we're designing learning experiences and designing opportunities that take our most historically underserved learners in mind at the forefront of design. We take universal design for learning to heart and try to make that an approach that we start every project with. So what have we been doing to generate access? Since 2015, when we started digging into course taking pattern data to better understand access to computer science across the Commonwealth, we have moved from just over 18,000 students enrolled in computer science to, in 2019-2020, over 216,000 students enrolled in computer science learning experiences across our school district communities. That 216,000 students is at the 7-12 space. In 2019-2020, it was the first year that Pennsylvania began capturing course taking patterns from K through 6. And in 2020, we had over 120,000 learners enrolled in that K through 6 journey to begin building their understanding and fluency in computer science, and really to get them excited and want to access more courses and more opportunities as they go through our system. Even with the expanded overall access to computer science, we still have a lot of work to do. And we need to continue to support students with exceptionalities, to continue to design learning experiences that support our Black and Brown learners, that support English language learners, so that they're not only included or have access to the opportunities, but they are included in those experiences within their communities. As we look at the percentage of Black and Brown learners or students with exceptionalities that were engaging in computer science courses in 2015, that percentage has stayed stable even through 2019 and 2020 as we've expanded access to more students. We need to ensure that in our communities that we're providing and including more of our underserved learners in these experiences. If we want to have the creators of the future that can solve the challenges in the future, we're going to need to have that diversity of thought and that diversity of experience and that diversity of talent to be able to lend that to those solutions. Over the last 5 years and over the last year specifically, we have been focusing on building networks. And that really fits with our collective impact model. We currently have 403 LEAs that have received PA Smart targeted grants. There are $35,000 grants that provide local education agencies an opportunity to buy resources, but more importantly, to dig in long-term professional learning that will build their educator and system capacity to have computer science learning experiences, both in school and out of school time. We have now 50 advancing grant partners. This year in 2020, we announced 26 additional advancing grants across the Commonwealth, which we are so excited about. Those advancing grants have been catalysts for change across multiple communities. There's several stories of advancing grants, getting that advancing grant funding, infusion, and that being a catalyst to engage other partners, to get additional funding from foundations, from business and industry partners, or from federal grants. We need to continue to support those communities. Over the last several years, we've invested more than $34 million across these two grant strategies that are really focused on equity and access. Through a pandemic, we've had more than 450 educators continue their commitment to our CS&P K-8 model. And that virtual learning pathway has been totally virtual. We've also had more than several hundred 7 through 12 CS&PA virtual pathway learners. We've supported over 30 educators to take the computer science praxis exam, with our first 5 completely certified educators in the Commonwealth, 712 certified in computer science. We need to celebrate those educators and continue to support the journey. We hosted 10 CS monthly meetups to support conversations and continue to build our network. We had over 200 educators engage in those monthly meetups to try to find solutions to delivering computer science learning in hybrid, virtual models, and synchronous and asynchronous instructional opportunities. And I want to thank the CS&PA team for continuing that commitment to those networking opportunities. Not only have we been building networks with our targeted grant strategy, we've also been building networks through our script model. Script is a comprehensive planning tool developed by our CS4All partners nationally. We now have 47 script facilitators across Pennsylvania. We've hosted 62 script workshops and have 158 LEAs with a comprehensive plan. Over the next 2 years, we hope to saturate school districts with this strategy. We want to ensure that all 403 of our targeted grant partners are able to build a script plan. And our goal is to use that script plan and the data and the stakeholder engagement that comes with us to better inform a statewide comprehensive plan for computer science. In the next year, we want to connect and reconnect with our other 245 targeted grant partners that are yet to have a script plan and drive their work moving forward. We also want to connect with those 150 LEAs that have a plan to support operationalizing their plan, updating it as we learn about new strategies and as the pandemic has changed education for the foreseeable future. And we want to make sure that they're able to submit and update those drafts and get the professional learning and technical assistance from our IUs and our CS&PA team. During the pandemic, we also decided to take a bold move and launch a brand new strategy. And we were going to do so virtually. After hearing from stakeholders across the Commonwealth, there was a lot of conversation about needing something to spark interest and get learners and educators reignited and excited about engaging and learning. So we decided to launch what was called our Build, Fly, Code Ambassadors program. We had several applicants for the program. I believe we had a little over 20 of our former targeted grants apply. 10 of those applicants wanted to move forward with the strategy. So we just wrapped up those 10 pilot projects that integrated computer science across middle and high school grades with a focus on universal design for learning and using drones as the on-ramp and the pathway to get learners excited. Those learners learned how to build a drone from scratch. They learned how to code that drone and make it fly. And then they learned how to either use the unmanned vehicle controller or to use the coding as a way to fly that drone. And we're really excited about where that project is going to take us. In the coming years, we're hoping to scale that virtual professional learning model, Build, Fly, Code. So what's next in our communities across the Commonwealth? We want to continue to support our targeted grant partners. We want to continue to expand Script. We're looking in the next year to expand the Build, Fly, Code program across the state, launching it to more than 120 additional partners. We also are going to launch our Act 45 course so that administrators can become the champions in their community for computer science education and know what to look for in and out of the classroom. We want to support more than 500 educators to get certified in Pennsylvania in the 7th through 12th certification program. We have a We Teach Practice Prep course in collaboration with the University of Texas in Austin, where over 500 educators can take this free online course to support their understanding of computer science. We have wrapped that course with tutoring supports, additional supports from our CS&PA team through Schoology, and we're also providing Praxis financial relief and certification filing fee financial relief. We also are looking towards continued collaboration with our post-secondary partners to build additional and new pathways for educators to learn computer science. As always, please take a moment to check out our STEM and PA video and what computer science and STEM education means to us here in Pennsylvania. And in closing, I want to thank each of you for your continued commitment to computer science across the Commonwealth. The work that you are doing is truly transformative, and it keeps kids excited and wanting to engage in learning. I hope that you have an awesome 4th annual CS4All Summit. Thank you.